Hello everyone, and welcome to the June Christmas Stampathon challenge. Can you believe it is 6 months till Christmas? Time to get our bottoms into gear and to get making some Christmas projects to make the end of the year so much easier for us, which is why we do the Christmas Stampathon. Now, our June Christmas Stampathon is all about flowers. So we just want to get you to grab some flowers out of your stash, especially if they're Christmas flowers, and use them to make at least 4 cards. This month I have already made 6 cards, and we're going to finish off my 7th card together. So here's a closer look at my card. I have used the Cottage Rose stamp set with the Brightest Glow that comes out on the 1st of June. Gorgeous sentiment stamp set just to freshen up your sentiments. Cottage Rose isn't Christmassy, but I have added it. I have used a little bit of gold embossing powder. I have used some glimmer paper that is in the upcoming mini catalogue in June. So I've used that. I've used the matching cottage flower dies. So I've used that to cut out, and I've used cut out with these two, our stamped images, and this piece here for our glimmer paper roses. And the designer series paper I have used is Lights Glow, and a glow this paper does. It is specialty paper, and each paper has gold foil. So you can have a look at those beautiful patterns. Not necessarily Christmassy, but in those Christmas colors. So basic black, cherry cobbler, evening evergreen, soft succulent, and very vanilla for a change. But today I have paired it with basic white. And I have grabbed out some Stampin blends. So I've used Evening Evergreen. I have used the brand new in color, which is Sweet Sorbet, to color our flower, and that goes really well with Cherry Cobbler. We have a little bit of So Saffron, and I have the light Soft Suede. So I thought finishing off my coloring would be a really good place to start with you. We're also adding in some gold embossing with our gold embossing powder. I have bought the brand new embossing kit because I was in desperate need of an embossing buddy. I won't grab you my old one, but suffice to say it is very sad. So I have all my bits here ready to rock and roll. So I've already colored our extra leaves. I've mounted our paper, and I've already die cut our outline flowers out of the glimmer paper. So I'm just using my light Evening Evergreen here. Now it just happens my light Evening Evergreen is slightly different shades on both ends. My dark Evening Evergreen is ever so dark, and I didn't necessarily want to use Soft Suede. I wanted that nice in between. So I'm going in, coloring these leaves. Now I'm not terribly particular with my coloring, but these leaves give us some great clues. So where the veins are and where that shading from our Memento ink is tells us exactly where I'm going to go in and add some extra dark bits. So I've just used my bullet end there. It just happens that my if I can get this off, my brush end is a titch darker. So it's not terribly dark, but it's enough just to add in that detail that I would like in the leaves. So if you have just stumbled across this video and haven't heard about the Christmas Stampathon, we are a group over on Facebook, and I will have that group linked in the comments below. As I said at the start of the video, we have a challenge once a month to make at least 4 projects to get ready for Christmas. So we had tags last month, we've got cards this month, we've had bags and boxes, we have all manner of different things. So sweet sorbet, I am actually going to start with the dark. Now I've already coloured in half the image. Now I was talking about these dark lines before, and with our dark shade I am literally hitting those dark or those lined areas where the designer of the stamp is. I am so sorry, my lawn mowing man has just turned up, so we're gonna get some real life here, and you're gonna hear the whippersnipper or weed whacker going. I do humbly apologize, I never know what time they're coming. So pop on over, join the group. You'll have a couple of questions to ask just so we can make sure you are a real person, and jump on in and get ready for Christmas, because if you've got the cards ready to rock and roll, it's going to make your Christmas so much easier. So with our light sweet sorbet, I literally just go in and fill in the area. I do go over that dark just a little bit just to get it to blend, but I actually want, you can see here, I want that dark part to stand out. I want it to say, hey, I'm dark and this is where the shadow of my petals are. So I went a little bit out of the lines there, but that's okay. That looks done. So that is the petals of the flowers. I'm going to take our light So Saffron and ever so easy go along these stamens. That's it. I'm going to leave that as it is, and I'm going to do another coat just to make it a bit darker. And for these stems, I'm going to take light soft suede, and these are the little details that just make our colouring perfect. And I don't have a light hand today, but hey, that's okay. I'm going to leave these like Queen Anne's lace actually just as they are, because the leaves and the flower really do take center stage. So another layer on that, and that is our flower done. I know I've done a little bit before our video, but you get real life crafting here. So we're going to pop this off to the side. We're going to empty out the contents of our card, and we are going to heat emboss the Merry Christmas from Brightest Glow. So I'll pop the Merry Christmas on top, or the Brightest Glow stamp set on top, so you can have a look at that. So this is my brand new embossing buddy out of our embossing kit that is available from the 1st of July. So what do you get in that kit? You get a pair of tweezers, you get a tray, and you get a paintbrush, which I may actually need, so it's a good thing. And these are reverse tweezers, so it's perfect for holding on to smaller projects so you don't burn your hand while embossing. Now I'm just going to heat up my heat tool there. That is nicely added a little bit of powder, so the embossing powder doesn't stick where I don't want it to. I've already lined up our sentiment in the Stamparatus. So I'm just going to pop that down there. Ow. I just put my hand in front of the heat tool, which I'll turn off now because it has heated up. Going to need our Versamark ink pad. So you're not going to see where I've stamped on this. So if I use this Versamark on coloured cardstock, it leaves like a watermark. But on plain white, like on our basic white cardstock and our very vanilla, you can't see it, but it is a wet, sticky ink. So it is perfect to use. So our embossing powder sticks perfectly. Okay, so that is done. I'm hoping we are all good. We look all good from what I can see. I'm just using this paper today to funnel this back. Now, let's see how good this embossing buddy worked. So what I do, I then very carefully funnel it back in. I do give it a bit of a, ooh, perfect. I think there is only like one stray piece of embossing powder, which no one will ever notice. So I'm really fine leaving it there. I am going to put the lid back on this because I have knocked one of these pots over before and it really wasn't pretty. Just putting my lid back on my Versamark, which I should have done first because I've also got embossing powder in Versamark, which also isn't pretty. So now we are going to melt this. So I'm hoping you're able to see it on screen, but what I do is I just warm up the paper. You can see it has curled a little bit, but the paper will relax back. So hopefully you can see that embossing powder melting. And I do a check to see if there are any matte pieces. So that means that the powder in certain places hasn't actually melted, but this is perfect. So I'm just going to pop that aside to cool down, and we're going to add some dimensional adhesive to these pieces. And my husband is also in a meeting and laughing, so this was the only time that I had in a very busy week to bring this video to you. So you've just got a little bit of life in my house going along. Do you take your crafting opportunities where you can, or do you need complete silence? Because I know some people really do need complete silence. Now I'm putting this just down the middle, so I've got space for my leaves to go under and space for my glimmer paper die cut. Okay, that is nice and cool now. Going to take our multi-purpose glue. I'm still apologizing for my lawn mowing man. He's now got the blower out, blowing away all the mess that they just made. I've actually got 3 of them here today, and my backyard really isn't that big, but apparently they're working in a posse of 3 today. I chose to put this very pretty garland paper as if it was I was doing it in the air, and you can't see that, as if it is as if it's hanging in a room. You can do it either way, that is up to you. So I'm just going to make sure that is straight. Just going to bring in my little rubbish bin here, which is actually a coaster holder. So I gave away all the coasters to my team, or gave them one each, and then I kept the last coaster in the coaster holder. So, no, my flower's crooked. Lucky I only dropped that down. That's a little bit better. And I've just used one on my leaf cluster, one dimensional. And I'm just going to tuck this under just like that. And I'm going to take glue dots. Leave me a comment below the first flower set that comes to your mind that you think you might use in your Christmas Stampathon project. I was playing with another set. I was not happy. This was the first set I was going to use, and the first idea I came up with was a bit ho-hum. So I went on to another set and I really didn't like that. So I came back to this and made it a bit different, and I ended up being very happy with the result after a couple of false starts. So I've added my glue dot on there, and I'm just going to tuck this under. I may even need to snip off this stem because no one's going to see it. It doesn't matter. There we go. Snip off that stem, and just going to pop that leaf over just to help the sense of connection. And that is how easily that card comes together. So I stamped in Memento ink, and then I use the die cuts, and I'll bring those in again, the Cottage flower die cuts, to cut out both the leaf and the flower cluster. I used the outline for our glimmer, used that, so they're all from the Cottage Rose bundle, the Brightest glow for the stamp set, and the lights aglow, and these actually do go together. The lights aglow for the paper. I've used some embossing things, and of course I used some blends for colouring. So if you want to see more of the items that I used, the link to those will be in the shop now, and they'll also be on my blog, and I will have a link down below for our Christmas Stampathon group. So please come over and join us. You don't need to make 7 cards like I did, and I do promise you they are all very much the same. You can make 4 slightly different ones, totally up to you. I can't wait to see what you come up with. We do go through and give you guys a hey, thanks for joining comment. I'm going to do that tonight for this month because I'm doing this a little bit early, so you can have it bright and early on the 25th. Thank you so much for your support. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from me. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye.